Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toku Portal podcast for Kaitou Sentai LupinRanger versus Keisatsu Sentai PatoRanger. I am Vashi V, and joining me tonight are.
Decade,
And Rye.
and today we are talking about episode 30. So, Keiichiro is filling out paperwork at the station. He leaves the other two in charge. Sakuya salutes and wishes him well as Noel enters. He asks what Keiichiro is doing tomorrow. The officers, Hilltop and Jim, nervously say that he's just taking a small vacation. They're pretty awful liars.
Oh
But
my
Noel
god, they couldn't
just
have done a
smiles.
better job of making it clear that they were trying to hide something from him.
No shit, that's just. And there's are people who are supposed to theoretically go undercover.
I hope next time they rehearse their lie.
Yeah, I guess they just figured he was going to get there later or something. um, yeah, so we cut to Keiichiro leaving a small train station, in civilian clothes. He sent a text that he has arrived, and he gets a reply saying that they will rendezvous at 4 at a location that hasn't been disclosed yet. Kaede spots him and begins pestering him about, tagging along and hanging out like a spoiled kid. Then we cut to Gerard where Noel pretty much voices his suspicions to the three thieves, who agree that it's weird for a workaholic like Keiichiro to be taking a day off, and obviously they're lying to Noel. So Noel asks Kaede to spy in his place. Keiichiro reluctantly agrees to hang out with him. They leave the station for some food, and then we get the opening. Thoughts?
Uh, this was a pretty interesting setup to the episode. Uh, sorry, Vashi, can you go first? I need to grab my water.
Yeah, not a problem. Um, yeah, this was an interesting setup because you get to see, like, the entire police squad out of their element. Because apparently they all are terrible liars. Like, insanely bad. And then you also get to see, Noel obviously being the whole I can't go spy on him because, well, then they'll know it's me. So I'm going to send Kyrie, which would lead to other issues that I'll get into later, which should have been a little bit more obvious than they were. But yeah, it was an interesting start, and I like when they put Kyrie and Keiichiro together because as much as a headbutt, they do complement each other very well as actors. Like, because you have the hard boiled, hard headed, stubborn, Keiichiro, and then Kyrie, who's very aloof and chill. And then to have their moments where they're serious together, it's phenomenal on screen, and I loved everything about this.
Yeah, I was wondering, when did Kyrie start acting so chummy with Keiichiro? And then I realized, oh, he's playing it up for the bit. And then I realized, oh, that's perfect. These two are going to get along super well. Uh,
Yeah. We cut to DeGranio's. Destro reveals that Kunks is making a move. Gosh is disturbed by the name, and Destro is as well. DeGranio is curious how this will go after he gave him a good collection piece. So, Keiichiro and Kaede are served their food. We get the episode title number 30, Together on Vacation. The two start fighting over food. They shoot some pellet guns, try some more food. until Keiichiro spots a young girl sitting alone. He asks her if she's okay and where her parents are at, but he's kind of towering over her and he looks intimidating. They even give him a voice filter that's creepy and awesome. So Kairi tries to lighten the mood by stretching Keiichiro's face, but it looks even scarier. The girl starts laughing while they fight. Keiichiro brings her to a small police office, and I'm sorry if you hear those dogs.
We do.
Yeah. So yeah, he takes her to a small police office. He takes off to find the hairband she was looking for. That's why she got lost. He tells Kairi that he doesn't have to follow, which gives him flashbacks. Jesus. These are not my dogs, people. Kairi starts walking, because obviously he wants to help. Any thoughts before I go on?
I enjoyed seeing these two just spend a day together and hanging out, because nothing about what happened here was faked or played up. They were just spending time and being genuine about themselves. When Kairi made the shot with the gun, my main thought was, dude, don't give yourself away with a really cool shot. That was a really cool shot, though. Oh, what was that? Decade? Did you close your door?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I'll mute myself.
Yeah, just the way that they were hanging out, and it goes back to the whole seeing characters just spend time and be normal thing that I was talking about in Build a few weeks ago. And it really relates here because right now they're not a cop and a thief. They're just two friends hanging out. The little girl incident was really cute as well. Keiichiro, like, he wants to be someone that kids can look up to when he's not. Kairi has to kind of come in and save him. Because Kairi's just that good a guy. He can't look away from someone.
Like, this was done very, very well. I know I've mentioned it before, like I said. I enjoy when characters seem like people rather than just characters. Because like with this entire scene between Keiichiro and Kairi when they're spending the day together seems genuine. You can see them be themselves rather than just the Phantom Thief and the cop. So having this little delve into their lives to see how they act as people rather than as the Sentai member, it's a nice touch. It's one of the reasons why I'm sure I've mentioned on previous podcasts why I liked Ryuki or Kamen Rider Ryuki, because there were a lot of moments like this where it's just them being them, none of the stress or of anything that's going on. It's just them living their life, and it's amazing, and I love it. I like the fact that they kind of brought back the whole Keiichiro not really knowing how to interact with kids, because they did that a little bit in the Crane episode, where to start with he couldn't connect with the kid, so the kid was all for the LupinRangers. So to have it delved out and fleshed a little bit better, I enjoyed to it, where it being his more or less his appearance and the way he comes across rather than just, hey, it's because he's an adult versus a kid. And having Kairi there to lighten the mood, to get the kid to explain what was going on and all that, was a nice touch. And it adds to them playing up their characters with, like I said, with Keiichiro being very straightforward and stubborn and Kairi being more playful, which worked out really, really well that Kyrie was like that. Otherwise, this episode would have gone nowhere because that kid wouldn't have said shit to Keiichiro.
Yep. uh, so, Kairi finds the place that's selling the hairbands and buys her a new one. But Keiichiro rushes in with the one that she lost. Kairi is frustrated. The parents of the girl thank Keiichiro, while Kairi clenches his fist around the one that he bought. At GSPO station, Jim briefs them on a ganglar who has appeared multiple times but has done nothing but just stand around. Noel suggests that they call Keiichiro, but everyone insists that they leave him alone. While crossing a bridge, Keiichiro asks Kairi what's wrong, since he's been so quiet. Kairi stops and recalls a time when he was supposed to hang out with his brother, but on the way, he found a lost girl and took her to the police station. Kairi couldn't help but feel jealous. This is when he's like a kid. He thinks that unlike his brother, he's a horrible person. But Keiichiro disagrees because Kairi did try to help the girl too. Kairi has a flashback of his older brother telling him something similar, because Kairi waited while he took the girl to the police station. He wants to say more, but Keiichiro leaves in a hurry after getting a text. Alone, Kairi says that even he wanted to believe that it was true and he was a good person. Obviously, feeling guilty for his brother being dead. Yeah, this is a deep Sentai. Thoughts?
Yeah, I did not expect we'd get into backstory on Kyrie with his brother in this episode. I do like how it even continues to show the differences between the two characters. While Keiichiro struggles to find the original whatever that was lost, Kyrie just goes and buys a new one. Because Keiichiro's thinking sentimentally, like, she lost that one is hers, while Kyrie's thinking, she just needs another one, right? That'll make her happy. And I love that with the theme that this episode carries forward of Kyrie seeing qualities that he admired in his brother and Keiichiro, and he doesn't like it.
Like I agree. Them their methods for getting back the hair tie shows very very well how they both view what they do. I guess because you have Keiichiro going, well, I need to go get that specific one because, like I said, it's sentimental. Where Kyrie is just, I'm just gonna go get her another one. Doesn't need to be that one. Is just because it kind of adds into the point of view of, I guess, Keiichiro being able to go, well, she'd know that this one was hers because of the sentimental reason, all that, and Kyrie not thinking about it. Which adds to me a little bit of depth in terms of like Kyrie not really caring how his goals are obtained, just as long as they are. Whereas Keiichiro is more, it has to be done a certain way, which works out very well with him being a cop. And him seeing the qualities in Keiichiro, it's understandable considering everything that happened with Kyrie's brother. Which, again, all we know is he got stuck in ice and they were fighting before this. Seeing that delve into his past a little bit to explain why he's seeing what he's seeing and Keiichiro is phenomenally done. Um, it's leading him to a deeper understanding of who Keiichiro is, rather than just what little bit they've interacted. So getting that depth in interaction is nothing but good, and in my opinion, will lead to them understanding each other further into the series where they start working together. Which I really hope that starts to happen soon. We're getting kind of to crunch time for that.
Yep. So let's see. Yeah, Tsukasa and Sakuya confront the Ganglar. Keisatsu change after just an explosion pops up in the middle of them, which we'll discover the reason for that later. So Keiichiro meets some shady characters in a warehouse with a bag full of cash. He's here to buy a VS vehicle. But the goons decide to ambush him and take the money. Keiichiro easily handles the thugs that are wielding pipes. He reveals to the leader that they heard about him from Japanese police through those guys that got busted at the black market auction. So they sent Keiichiro to investigate, keeping it a secret from Noel so the thieves wouldn't get another collection piece. However, the red thief has been watching the whole time and swoops in for the piece. The Reds transform and fight, but Lupin Red isn't trying his hardest. Clearly, he's got stuff on his mind. So just real quickly, what did you guys think of that old school cop action?
So with the whole Ganglar introduction, they're like the three are talking of like, oh, it's him, and I had this feeling of when we see the Ganglar, is that really the one they were talking about? But more on him later. Uh, about that whole elite black deal that Keiichiro was going undercover for. I totally makes sense as to why they would want to keep that from Noel. Like, oh, we don't want him to tell the thieves about this. And I just loved seeing Keiichiro beat up a bunch of normal dudes without transforming. He may primarily use his gun when he's Pat Ranichigo, but seeing that like, nah, he's still got strength without it is very reassuring of the police training. And it makes sense that Kairi would be upset by this. Like, wow, they were trying to do this behind our backs? No.
Everything about this old school cop fight was just amazing. I will admit, when he first showed up with the bag of cash, I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Because I forgot the whole shady shit with it, the whole him being on vacation. So my brain literally went, "Oh my god, he's really giving criminals money. What the fuck?" So for that not to be the case, I was like, "Okay, thank crap."
I knew he wasn't actually giving them money, but I was like, what is he doing? And then they pulled the VS vehicle, and I went, oh, okay. Where did they get that? Oh, the art thieves. Oh.
Right. It's like the further that scene progressed, the more I'm sitting going, okay, good. It's all clear. Thank you. But yeah, seeing Keijiro just whoop ass, that was indiscriminately whooping ass too. There was no other word for that. It was amazing. It's not too often here lately that we've been getting decent out of suit fights. Most of it's been focused on the actual suit fighting, so which is understandable. I mean, it's Sentai. But when they have moments like this where it's beautifully shot, old school martial arts, I love it. And then Kyrie being pissed makes sense. It's a little disappointing he's pissed off because it's like they've gotten everything else. Let the police have one. Because there's no guarantee that this was one that was quote unquote not meant for the police. I mean, it's a freaking fire truck. So there's no guarantee that the VS vehicles that the police have are actually fully legit collection pieces.
They were modified by Noel, confirmed.
Oh, they were flat out modified. Well,
Like
I mean,
all of them were, but those
uh,
ones weren't the original ones because the thieves ones were the originals, and then Noel modified the police ones, not realizing they were going to be sent to the actual police.
okay. My brain registered that he like made them to be an asshole. Okay, never mind. That clears that up. But still, either way, it's like, come on. They've most of the power ups here lately. The police have been getting anyway, or the Lupin Rangers have been getting it lately. Let the police have one. They do half your job. Word half.
Yeah, that's part of my problem. Is that this show lately has been LupinRanger. During the first arc, it was pretty well balanced, but ever since Noel got introduced, it's been very thief heavy.
I mean, it makes a little bit of sense that that'd be that case with the story that Noel has given us, because there's no guarantee that his story is true. I mean, let's face it, he's a fucking thief. He's lying to somebody. He's either lying to the police or lying to the Lupin Rangers, and we still have no guarantee of which one it is. But I see I cannot talk right now. I agree, it has been getting a little thief heavy. I mean, I enjoy that a little bit because I still on the side of the thieves, but I do miss when it was more balanced.
Yep. So, um, Noel, Umika, and Toma transform and join the two PatoRangers against the Ganglar. They manage to steal his piece, but he begins to emit a smelly gas, much to everyone's horror. Oh, the suit acting here was fantastic. Noel realizes that the collection piece was masking his smell. Destra and Gosh are mortified. Gosh decides to turn him giant before he is defeated, just to, I guess, get it over with. But it turns out that his gas is actually flammable. And of course, no one could smell it when he had the collection piece. So he begins destroying the city. Sango updates Ichigo on the situation while he has Red cornered. He stops and orders Red to use the VS vehicle to save the city, because he can get there faster with his jet. Lupin Red is angry and confused, but leaves. Lupin Kaiser uses the Splash vehicle to put out the fires and synergizes with magic to defeat the Ganglar. Fun gimmicks, but not super amazing. So yeah. Keiichiro apologizes to Hilltop for losing the piece. Jim is surprised that the thief cooperated, but Keiichiro isn't. Seems he's growing less hostile, at the very least, to the thieves. At Gerard, Noel wonders if Arsene Lupin didn't give away collection pieces just for the sole purpose of keeping it out of wicked hands. Because he gave this one away to like a girl for her birthday or something. That's what Goody said. But Kaity's too busy thinking, irritated that Keiichiro's mature actions brought up thoughts of his brother. Episode end. Thoughts on all that?
All right. The fight between the two Reds was again really good. Definitely a good follow up to the last one as well. As you can see, how both of them have developed some new techniques, but also Kyrie is distracted by thoughts about his brother, so he's not at his full potential. As for the Ganglar, I really thought that things were going too easy and that they must have been talking about a different one. And so when they stole the collection piece, I thought, and the gas started to roll in, I thought, oh, here he comes, the real Ganglar. Nope. Although I do like how his gas being explosive was utilized. Because it straight up came up in that, hey, they're firing their guns and they're getting hit. What's going on here? I just love Tsukasa, by the way. I believe it was last week in the memory episode where she was just willing to tear up some of Keiichiro's memories that she didn't like. This week where she's just like, thieves, put that one back in the safe. And while I don't like that the thieves got the next power up again, I do like the circumstances because no one is happy with what happened here. Keiichiro had to give up the piece so that uh, the town could be saved. Kairi had to listen to him and take the piece just to be a good person. And Kairi doesn't want to be friends with the police. He doesn't actually want to do that. But he can't help but realize that Keiichiro is kind of like his brother in certain ways. I look forward to seeing how this follows up.
This was done very, very well. The fight between the two Reds was phenomenal, and it actually shows growth on Keijiro because he was able to tell that Kyrie wasn't really into the fight, that he was distracted and all that. I thought it was hilarious that Tsukasa wanted to put the collection piece back because DeGranio wasn't lying when he said he found a complimentary collection piece for him because it pretty much became one giant explosive fart joke, which was done very well, I might add, for it being a fart joke. The way the suit actors actually portray that was hilarious and phenomenal all at the same time. And having it be explosive through gunfire made sense, except for the fact it didn't spark when they got when the swords and everything else was making sparks. But I guess it's hit or miss on that. Keijiro having the understanding that he needed to utilize Kyrie to get the VS vehicle into the town to be able to save it shows growth on his part too, because we kind of saw that to begin with back in the beginning of the series where Kyrie kind of let the Reds take care, or let the police take care of stuff, because he understood that it was something that was necessary for the greater good. Whereas this is the same thing, just the roles are reversed, so that it gives growth to Kyrie for accepting it, no matter how much it frustrated him to take orders from Keijiro. But it also showed growth on Keijiro to be able to go, I know we hate each other, but I need your help, kind of thing. That understanding that there was no way he would get there in time. It shows depth and growth for both characters. And I guess further on and towards the end, you find out that either Lupin just really enjoyed giving stuff away, or he was trying to date a bunch of girls.
All right, I forgot about that part. The explanation of, well, maybe he just didn't want the collection in one piece because of the ultimate power thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I would accept that if it wasn't for the yeah, he gave it to a girl for her birthday. I think it's a little bit of both. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a character in the show that was trying to get laid. I mean, there's no other way to word that. He was trying to woo the ladies with special little toys. Because let's face it, they look like toys.
Check out this beautiful amber pendant. One of a kind.
That just happens to look like a plane. That shouldn't exist at that
I was
time
about to
period.
say, did it exist?
No. The idea, I want to say Lupin was pre-jet.
Hmm.
I want to say. I don't take my word for it. I may be wrong. I don't really know much on my French history at that point. But I want to say it was before that. And if even if it wasn't, the jet sure as hell didn't look like that. That looks too modern for me. And then you have the, very very modern crane and drill. And how long was he collecting this freaking stuff for it to balance all the way into modern stuff?
It is possible that his descendants kept continuing to collect them.
Right, and it's understandable. It's like, but the at least the opening leads you to believe it was just him.
Right.
That's where the issue lies with it. For me, that there's a bunch of modern crap when there shouldn't be modern crap unless that was Noel's doing. But still, it doesn't explain the fire truck that that has disappeared. That
Right,
looks like
and Goody also straight up recognized drilling crane. Oh, hey, when
yeah,
did you get a trigger?
yeah. Things aren't adding up, and it's probably minor crap that's irrelevant.
It's minor crap that's irrelevant.
But still, I do tend to enjoy consistency. And if I can poke a hole in something, I'm going to poke a hole in it. It's kind of what I do. I'm a killjoy. But all in all, is like this. The entire this entire episode was amazing, and I know I've been saying this a lot on this podcast. I love the fucking camera work. Cause holy crap, this episode, the camera work was amazing. Both the free roaming camera, and the fisheye lens when the Lupin Rangers show up to fight the Ganglar. It's been phenomenal with the camera work for this series. Much more so than these few spurts of time that they did decent shit with Q Ranger. This has just been phenomenal from start to finish with the camera work.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the LupinRanger roll call with the swords. That was fun. But final thoughts. This was definitely exceeded my expectations. I'm glad it was as deep as it was because this is going to be really the hardest barrier to break is the two reds working with each other. If that ever happens, which I'm sure it will, but yeah, this is a good start.
Even if it only happens during like the very last arc where both teams have to come together to take out Dogranio, it will happen. In fact, it may have already kind of happened in the movie that we haven't been able to watch.
Because none of us can go to a Japanese theater.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not in Japan. But yeah, that's the one thing I'm still really looking forward to them doing is the now we're working together part. And like I said, I'd be okay with it if it's just a last arc. Or hell, I'd be kind of okay if it was just a last battle that they full on 100% were working together. Because I'm okay with the random having to use the all together mech being them working together for now, beyond the instance of an episode like today, or where the you know yellow and pink work together. This type of thing I enjoy that they do, and it's one of the things I like about the show. It adds a unique dynamic to it that we're not used to seeing. So I'm okay with them drawing out them not working together. I just want it to be a decently explained when they are working together. I don't want it to just be, oh crap, we have to work together now, and then that to be the end of it, and never get brought up again. Like I don't want it to be a they have to team up to defeat a monster, and then from then on they're teamed up with no issues. Is like I don't want them to go that route because I could see them going that route. It wouldn't be the first time where they've had the random competition be friendly out of nowhere, because that's just a Sentai trope.
I had a point that I thought of while you were talking, and I kind of forgot about it. Oh, the roll call. Because so far, the teams haven't done like back to back roll calls, at least not that I can think of. And that made me realize have the Power Rangers done a proper roll call in the past month?
I
Yes,
I want to say they did.
I think with the fish guy when they first showed up, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, I
I
guess.
know Noel was a part of it. I know that much. I remember that much. That Noel was a part of it.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of which, it was nice to see Noel take center stage
Yeah,
in the roll call.
times Umika hasn't been able to sit down during a roll call. Two? Two or three?
I want to say this is 3. I noticed it too, but at least it was a very cute pose.
Oh yeah, her leaning on her sword was really fitting.
You want to know what I want? I've just realized what I want for this entire series. I don't care anything else that happens. I want this for the roll call. I want it to go, the Pad Rangers do their henshin and roll call, and then immediately turn into the Pat Rangers, and Noel literally run around them and transform into the Lupin Ranger.
Oh, I think I brought this up before. It's the Go Busters return thing with Jay.
Yes, I want that. I want that exact thing.
Like, you legit see him running from one side to the other in the background.
There's nothing else I want more than that, because I think that would be amazing. I mean, let's face it, it was amazing in Go Buster. And on that note, I think that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We really enjoyed this episode. It was a really good one. And then tomorrow, we start our podcast for the new series, Kamen Rider Zeo. See you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and see you guys tomorrow and or next week. Thank you all for joining us.